Today we're talking couple workouts,
the movie Bikeriders,
kids' birthday parties,
and emotion books for children.
Stay tuned to find out.
Hello and welcome to Couple Chat.
Where we
Parents.
discuss topics for you.
Parents. I'm Matt.
I'm Jackie. Let's chat. We have some exciting news about our next step as a married couple.
Mm-hmm.
And I wanted to talk a little bit about it just because we did do this journey before we got married. And then when we got married, it kind of started to crack and then it completely disappeared once we had children. So we started going in the gym again together.
Yes.
And I wanted to get, we've only been together once just because there's no other day where there's no children around. And I really wanted to kind of get your feedback on how it is, how you remember it being, and what you look forward to.
Yeah. Well, I disagree with when the cracking began. It really started when we had kids and the pandemic happened. That's really when things started to fall apart. But I mean, I was at my healthiest after we got married.
True. 2018 was the year of the mat.
Yeah, it was. But no, I mean, I look back at photos and stuff and I'm just amazed at how good I looked. I mean, you don't realize it in the moment. It's when you feel like poop, which I don't right now, thankfully. But it's when you're fatter or whatever, or you think you don't look great, and you look back and you're like, "What?
How did I look that thin?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did know it a little bit in 2018 because I was wearing undershirts to the gym, and that was my claim to fame. Yeah, look at me. I can wear an undershirt to the gym and not have to wear real clothes. I don't know. It felt good. I liked it. But
yeah.
Anyway, I'm trying to get back to that. And I've been on this journey since March. The only reason why you haven't been going to the gym per se is because you were on your dancing journey. You're trying to get back into your art and doing the things you love. Yeah. So it was two-pronged. You were able to work out and dance, which I've mentioned this before in an earlier episode. But now that dance is over for the season, you and I were well, we should work out together, or at least you should go back to the gym while you're not dancing. And I know you're slowing down a little bit when dance starts up. You're probably only going to take one class.
Yeah.
And get back into theater. It's all part of this whole thing, really the end goal is to get back acting and singing and doing that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Which
I have that stage itch again. Now that I was in that dance recital, I definitely want to get back on it.
I have the stage itch to watch you on stage. It's one of my favorite feelings in life. So for me to be able to experience that is, a selfish reason. But yeah, so anyway, we went to the gym for the first time on Friday before we picked up the kids. And it was awesome. Yeah. We were just there together. We didn't have any obligations because the kids were in daycare still for a little bit of time before we had to pick them up. And it was a really good feeling to be able to do that. And yeah, we don't have any other time really during the week to do that, but we were talking about maybe asking your mom to watch them one night, usually our date night, which is Tuesdays. Yeah. And instead of going out to the movies, which we probably will sometimes anyway, because if something comes out that we want to see, we're going to
Wolverine and
oh yeah, but that's Deadpool. Not on Tuesdays, see, so we don't have to worry.
Right.
So that's what I'm saying. Our usual Tuesday date night, let's make it we go to the gym night instead. Sure. So anyway, for me, it's been a great journey so far. I've lost 20 pounds and I have a good 40 to 50 to go to get back to the weight I want to be at. But I can already feel that I'm healthier and I have more energy and my clothes are fitting better. And even though I'm not at the weight I want to be, I can tell that other things are just better now.
Yeah.
So I want that for you. I want you to get back on that too. I know you're having your other stomach issues and whatever is going on with you. So I think that's also part of the reason why you're not getting to that point.
Yeah. I've also lost 17 pounds since maybe March. Yeah,
Okay.
since March, but not for good reasons. For this gallbladder, stomach, whatever I've got going on. I've lost a drastically quick amount of weight.
I mean, that's not a crazy amount of time. I lost 20 in the same amount of time or so. You know?
You were working out for it though. Like,
but you were dancing. So
but I lost like a big chunk of it in too quick of a time.
Yeah, I don't think it was in March then.
That's when it started. That's when the stomach issue started. And then I was down 10 pounds a month later. And it was just like, whoa.
Right.
But it wasn't a healthy way. It was just like my body said, you're not going to eat anymore without being in terrible pain. It was wonderful.
Well, now you have the whole summer to at least get back into this. Mm-hmm. We're going to try and do Fridays because we have that extra bit of time that we usually wouldn't. Yeah. And on top of that, we are going to, if we can't go together during the week, we're going to flip-flop like we were when you were dancing. Yeah. So, Monday, Wednesday is my time. Tuesday, Thursday is your time. Mm-hmm. And then even more inspiring for us and her, your cousin also is going to be joining us. She got a membership while she's again at a school, just like, our schedule is a little different in the summer. Mm-hmm. So she might be joining us sometimes too, on these evenings that we go to the gym. So yeah, it's going to be awesome. I'm excited to really get into it. Again, we just started, but I went to the gym tonight. Tomorrow you'll go unless we start up that date night thing. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I'm very excited. Yeah. I'm looking forward to it.
Another thing we did this week, earlier on our Tuesday date night, was we went to see the Bikeriders.
We did.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, I want to begin this off with something you said a long time ago now in an early episode when we were talking Dune Part 2. Mm-hmm. So you said, I'm so upset that Austin Butler didn't cut his hair. He should have cut his hair for this role. And I don't care what the other movie is. He should have cut his hair for this. So now that you've seen the other movie, The Bikeriders, what are your thoughts about Austin Butler not cutting his hair for this movie?
It's so funny because on that same episode, we have like a nasty comment from someone who took the time to listen to our video or watch it or what have you.
Thanks, nasty commenter.
And it's like, I know what it takes to be an actor. I understand how makeup works and hair and like all of these things. I do. I get it. I just didn't like it at the time. It took me out of it. I wanted to be, I wanted to dive deep, and that took me out of Dune. Thank you, nasty commenter. I don't know where you are or who you are, but we're still here. Thanks. However, my opinion of the Bikeriders is pretty good. Yeah. I think Austin Butler, I get it. His hair needed to be long. It was based in
lustrous.
It was based in late 60s, early 70s. So of course his hair needed to be, really long. Biker, like I get it. I definitely understand that like his hair may not have grown that fast.
And it wouldn't have looked good if it was a wig.
If there was a wig, right. Yeah. I mean, they do have some men's wigs who look like, whoa, like where do you get that hair? Because it looks really good.
I could almost imagine, though, a stipulation for him taking that role was partial, obviously looks, but like his hairstyle, like a lot of things,
Yeah, it was, because I remember seeing an interview where he was like, yeah, well, the director, we were a lower budget film. Right. They couldn't really afford the hair. Right. He just said, listen, like, I know you're on this other project, but please don't touch your hair.
Dune's a bigger movie. They can afford to make cover your crazy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. I do remember him saying that.
Yeah. So I'll give him that. I understand. I am an actor. I get it. It still took me out of Dune. I'm going to admit it.
But it doesn't bother me that much.
But the Bikeriders was pretty good. And I'm very happy he did not cut his hair. Good job, Austin, for listening to your director and doing what they asked and not
tuning what you asked.
Oh my gosh. The dad jokes just get worse and worse, folks. Anyway, yeah, I think Austin did a great job. I think it's I liked the perspective it came from because it is a book based in reality where this man basically took pictures and interviews all within this time frame of this bike gang.
Yeah.
And majority of it was from the perspective of Austin Butler's character's wife. So that was kind of cool because like you got this perspective of someone who wasn't really a biker,
right?
And what was going on in the gang and like all the stuff going on. And you had little brief glimpses of, you know, some of the bikers. Like he would interview them and they'd have their little monologue or their little, you know, couple lines back and forth.
Yeah.
But I really did enjoy it. I liked that it was based on a story like that because you don't really get, like when you think of biker gang, you think of like them doing bad things and on purpose, kind of like the mob, but they're just riding bikes. And it's like, this wasn't about that. This was just about being able to be together, riding bikes, living life. I mean, yeah, there were a few fights here and there, but like.
But it was interesting because I think that this was showing how that came to be.
Right.
How biker gangs did turn a bad way, but this movie was like showing kind of the origins of that.
Yeah.
Which I didn't really know much about. And obviously it's a biopic technically, but I think they did a decent job. They didn't push too hard on like, you know, Hollywood-esque things.
Right.
It felt grounded.
Yes. It didn't feel like there was anything too far-fetched.
Right.
It didn't feel like, you know, anything that shouldn't have been there. And again, it didn't feel campy.
Right.
Or anything like that. It felt like a true group of friends, you know, based on a book.
One person randomly shows up halfway through the movie.
It was just because it was that person. There's this cameo, folks. If you get to watch this movie.
He's in the rest of the movie.
It's a cameo. I bet it's in his contract. This is how long I must be in the movie. And this is how ugly I must look. I get it. I get it.
It was funny.
It was all right. He's not the worst, but he's not the best. I don't know.
No, I'm with you.
Yeah.
I'm not.
It's just like that guy of all people. Like, let's shoehorn him in.
It's because he's a motorcyclist.
Sure.
You know.
Yeah. There's a lot of motorheads they could have put.
True.
Not him.
Imagine if Jay Leno was just, hey guys, how you doing? Here I am.
Imagine Jason Momoa popping in.
Does he have a motorcycle?
He does. Oh my God. Again,
I'm doing it again.
Oh my God, stop. You're so embarrassing. I hope you keep this in.
Of course I'm going to keep it in.
Anyway, yeah, the Bikeriders was really a great time. And I really think it's definitely a great night, date night movie.
Oh, yeah.
The one thing I loved about it, I literally looked at you smiling and you're like, what? You thought I was annoyed at you hiccuping.
Oh my God, that was so annoying.
But I literally looked over at you because I felt like the whole theater shaking and just like the sound of the motorcycle engine and everything just like gave me this euphoria of like, I want a motorcycle. And you're literally like, I'm over here hiccuping for 10 minutes already. And you look at me, I think you're mad at me. Yeah. No motorcycles.
Yeah. It was, those hiccups.
I know.
I don't get the hiccups often. I definitely don't get them often in the movies. And that was like, it was annoying. Like,
I know.
But it was bad hiccups. Like they wouldn't go away. You ever have hiccups like you hold your breath, you do the water thing, you do all this stuff and like nothing works? That was these hiccups. I didn't do that one.
No. Oh, that one I do. Because then it distracts you. But you're watching a movie.
Right. I was trying to concentrate and it wasn't helping.
Yeah.
But anyway. Hiccups aside.
Yeah. It was good.
Yeah,
I definitely think it's a good date night movie.
Yeah. Not
Tom Hardy's amazing.
Always. Yeah. This was actually, I would say, one of my favorite roles he's played, though.
Yeah.
I thought he was really good in it. It was subtle and like he kind of had like a family aspect to it with his actual family and the biker gang. Yeah. But yeah. All around. It was good. Not the greatest movie of all time or anything, but
no, it was enjoyable.
Yeah, but not one you bring kids to. And I don't know what that lady was doing, walking around with her two daughters in and out of the theater with her flashlight on everybody.
They must have been in there for a movie beforehand, and maybe they all fell asleep because they all had blankets. Or like whatever happened. I don't really know. Or maybe they dropped something in the seats.
Yeah.
And I don't know.
They came back to find it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But that was really annoying.
Yep.
Yeah. But, movie theater etiquette. We'll do a whole episode on it, I promise.
Movie theater etiquette.
Let us know if you want to hear that, because we have a whole plethora of movie theater etiquette that we're always like, that guy, that lady. Yeah. Yeah. Come on, folks. Come on down. Let us know you want it. We'll do it. If we get enough likes on that, we'll do it. Speaking of kids, how many birthday parties have we been to in the last 2 weeks?
Not me, but
sorry.
yes,
Nathan and I have been to 3 birthday parties in the last 2 weeks.
Emma and I only went to one of them. But.
Yes. Kids' birthday parties are a blast. I really like it because it's typically a controlled environment.
Yeah.
Usually it's only one parent. There were a couple couples there.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Dad
What?
joke it up.
You said the dad joke.
Oh, okay.
There were only a couple couples.
There were a few couples there. And
Boo.
so it was really nice. And the one party we went to was Slime University. It was fun. They did.
Thank goodness I didn't go.
They did sand art. Yeah, you would have hated it because the mess he made.
Mm-hmm.
But it was controlled.
I'm sure he had fun.
And then the slime that they made, his slime just wouldn't stay together. And then I couldn't make bubbles with it. Like if you pull the slime out enough, it'll.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. The slime was really cool. I think he really enjoyed making it, putting the flavor in, because you can put a scent.
Which is weird because you're going to put a flavor in something you're not going to eat.
Right. But it could smell good and it'll make your hands smell different.
All right.
I don't understand kids' toys. Hence why we don't own it in our house.
No way. No silly putty, none of that stuff.
No Play-Doh, no Slime-O, no sticky hands.
Somewhere else.
No
Go have
sticky
fun
lizards.
somewhere.
Yeah. Go to a place.
Sticky gecko?
Yeah, no sticky geckos.
I don't care about that.
They get really dirty.
They do. If they hit the floor.
If it hits the floor,
that's
if it's in your clothes.
That's why she didn't want it to hit the floor.
Well, that's why they didn't want it to hit the floor.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think Slime University was fun. They did art, sand art before, and then they did the slime, and then they had cake and pizza and whatever. But that was nice.
Yeah.
And then the other birthday party was a karate party. That was a good time, except the air was broken. So we were all standing there in front of these industrial fans while the kids are out there trying to learn karate moves. And we're all dying. I think, oh my gosh, I was wearing shorts and a t-shirt. I literally was like, can I go get changed? I was melting. By the time I came home, I was going out with a friend and I had to change because I was that gross. It was a hot party. But karate was fun. Karate was very intimate. There were only 10 kids, which was nice. Definitely some good ideas for birthday parties.
Slime University was more than 10?
Yeah, I think it was 15. It was the whole side of the place. And there were only 2 empty chairs. So, yeah, there were a lot of kids. And then, I think it was about 15. And then this last birthday party was at a restaurant that had a sensory, what would you call it? A sensory room?
Area. Yeah, I mean.
Yeah, they had
it was
a sensory
party room with, a little play area for kids.
Yeah, it was a sensory room. So they do, parties and events for children with autism or difficulty with certain loud noises or sensory. It kind of helps with that. But they also have the table set up to have a birthday party. So we went there and it just so happened that you and Emma came along with us. And that was actually really nice because everyone was playing nice together and it was Nate's friends from school. And
they unfortunately got rained out.
Yeah, they got rained out. They went from a park setting to inside this restaurant, but I think it worked out. The food was good. The sensory place was cool.
Want to go back?
Yeah,
to eat on a date night or something.
Yeah, but I mean, these are just a few ideas that in the last 2 weeks that we've been to birthday parties. That's so smart. If your kid's in karate, do a birthday party at your karate school.
Yeah,
I was thinking maybe asking the dance school, like, hey, can we do a dance class?
That's a cool idea. I mean, but we've been talking about like Nate's next birthday being art related because he's so obsessed with drawing and painting at school, and then he comes here and he's writing and drawing little notes and notepads and stuff. So.
Yeah, they have a bunch of studios near us. They have a specific paint studio that does kids and adults.
Right.
So yeah, you're right. They can come and like paint for Nate's birthday. Yeah. There's so many ideas out there. So I mean, it helps
when you take them to like, you know, it all depends on the environment, but like Chuck E. Cheese, we've mentioned it before, but like it's just it's overstimulation there, and there's too much going on, and there's too many kids and too many parties. Whereas, you know, like when you do it at one of these types of places, it's controlled, like you said, and kids, they thrive when there is a controlled environment. Yeah. You know, like so many people think like, oh, well, no, kids, they just need to run around and you know, go crazy. Well,
to a point,
but you know what? I find that Nate does better when he's in a situation where like his brain is focused and working.
Yeah.
You know, like he gets too overwhelmed and overstimulated when he just has the pick of doing whatever, you know, unless it's, you know, one of like we did the play cafe for his birthday, like unless it's something like that, but he usually in an environment like that chooses something and kind of sticks to it most of the time. He'll move around a little bit, but yeah. So, I mean, it depends on your kid.
Yeah.
You know?
There are some kids who thrive in an environment like a karate class.
Yeah.
Or even like a baseball place, like a t-ball place, or like a batting cages or mini golf or stuff. Really all depends on your kid and how old they are. Yeah. But yeah, I think that it really helps kind of getting like a perspective on what we have in our area too.
Oh yeah.
And just seeing like birthday ideas for the future or like what we can even consider.
Yeah.
But other people too. That's why I wanted to talk about it a little bit.
Cool.
Yeah.
So with Nate, we've been having a little trouble. He's, you know, in this state where his emotions are all over the place. He's on a roller coaster ride every day, and you know, like just running back and forth. He's definitely a rambunctious kid. And you recently thought of the idea. You picked him up a little early one day when you got out of work early, and you brought him to the library, and you guys picked out a plethora of books focused on emotions.
Yeah.
And I thought that was a really smart idea because now he can, you know, pick a book, like almost a different book every night, but really like try to get into like what other kids are feeling, and maybe, you know, having it read to him and allowing us to explain things as we're reading through a book would really help out. So what was your reasoning like behind deciding that, and how has he been taking it so far?
Yeah, I think it definitely, the catalyst was, you know, he'd been having behavioral issues, kicking, biting, screaming, not listening to, you know, adults or even other friends.
Yeah.
So I think it was more so I was at a loss and I didn't know how to help him anymore. And I picked him up and I was just like, man, like, all right, well, I had to pick you up early because you got kicked out. Like, we got to figure out something to do today because I couldn't really just like hang out at the house. And I was like, okay, well, we have to get a birthday present and we have to go over to that side of town where the big library is. And I was like, why not go to the library on our way to the store? And then this way he can take one of those books into the store and we can kind of talk about it while we're looking for presents or ideas and all of that. I think that's where I needed a lot of support from the librarians because it was very difficult to find. The emotions books are on the other side where like the older kids stuff is.
Okay.
So they kind of like separate it from the little kids stuff.
Weird.
It is, because those are more like geared toward just that emotion and being able to kind of like break up and really determine like, you know, beyond mad, beyond sad, and like they can already identify it. They already know what it is, and they're working on breathing through it or figuring it out. Nate's not at that point yet.
Okay.
But a lot of the books that I was finding were all in that section. And they're like, no, these are really good because these will still help him. A lot of them are animated. There's only one that I think has real people in it, but that's the respecting your elders or respecting people, respecting others, I think it's called. And I think it'll help him see like, oh, this is how you treat your friend in real life.
Right.
But I mean, last night, for example, we read a book after watching Monsters, Inc. about the Monster Emotions Parade.
Right.
And he loved it.
Yeah.
He literally could relate it to not only Monsters, Inc., but he could relate it to his emotions. He could relate it to also Inside Out, because a lot of the monsters were the same color as the Inside Out characters.
And the same emotion.
And the same emotion. Yeah. So red was anger, blue was sadness. Like he did get to see a lot of very similar things. And the first book I showed him had a color monster. So that monster looks exactly like anger from Inside Out. So he's like, oh my gosh, this whole book is Inside Out, because they were all the same colors again. So I think the color association really helps, especially because at the school, they have a calming corner where they put out, the teacher puts out like the chart. There's a red chart, a green chart, a blue chart, and a yellow chart. And each of those charts has like the emotion you are today. And you put a magnet or you put your sticker or your name on it. And it's like, okay, well, this is how I'm feeling right now. Well, we want to get you to the green. So we got to make you get to the green. How are we going to get there? Right. So you play with books, you read books, you play with fidget spinners, you just chill, like get your blanket on and just kind of hang out there. Right. So I was trying to kind of go along the lines of that as well, and being able to not only try and teach the emotion, because yes, he's 4. He's 4.5. Everything I've seen says their brain isn't functioning that way. They don't understand their emotions yet. Mm-hmm. It's okay to start learning, but they still don't get it. They still can't regulate it. They're not really going to understand how they're hurting others until they're like 6.
Yeah.
So it's like late 5, early 6 is like when everyone's like, oh, well, they'll start getting it then. And it's like, okay, but like
it makes me feel better hearing that, because like we struggle with the whole like he hurts Emma and like he does stuff that and I know it's mostly geared or mostly stems from jealousy, but hearing that, at least it's like probably not vindictive, and I don't really think it's that anyway.
No,
but
I think it also helps, like I said, like learning all these things, and like social media can be really bad, and we can kind of dive deep and disappear essentially. You see those videos where someone will be on a Reddit stream and then 10 hours later they look up and they're like, wait, what time is it? Where am I? Who am I? Social media is that exact same way. Instagram, YouTube, it's all like that. That's how we kind of sometimes lose our way. However, there are some diamonds in the rough where I find to be helpful. I even share them to you, where there's certain parenting things that I do like to, that speak to me, speak to us as a couple, and for me toward our children. It's something that I want to try and like embody.
Yeah.
And I think that this emotions thing is like definitely something we're going to have to continue working on.
Yeah.
But I'm hopeful. And I did get 13 books. We borrowed 13 books. I looked at the librarian and with this giant pile on my arms, and I'm just like, so how many books can we take out? And she goes, 60. Oh, okay.
60?
60 at a time.
Each person?
Each person. Mm-hmm. I was like, oh, okay. So I haven't even gone halfway there.
Okay, Nate, let's go back out there.
Yeah. Let's go get him, go get him, soldier.
Tiger?
I don't know.
Go get him, Daniel Tiger.
Okay. But yeah, I mean, there's no Daniel there's no Daniel Tiger books about feelings. There's one episode in the show, but there's no book. Right, so he was like, I want Daniel Tiger. I was like, well, this isn't going to help you with your emotions, pal. So no. But that's my attempt at trying to get Nate and his emotions in check. I mean, they'll never be in check, but at least trying to give him
We're in
tools.
our 30s and our emotions aren't in check, so.
Oh, hell no.
Well, no.
Anyway,
Yes.
But
So if you like this episode and you want to see more about us talking marriage, parenting, date night, all that jazz, follow Here Are the Hahns and check out Couple Chat.
yeah. And hey, let us know. Do you want to film a movie theater etiquette video? Come on, let us know. We've got it in the bag. We could record it right now.
We won't, though.
We won't.
I'm Matt.
I'm Jackie.
Here are the Hahns signing out.
Thank you so much for listening to Couple Chat. Make sure to subscribe to us on Spotify or YouTube Music. You could even subscribe to our YouTube channel where you could see this episode in video. Thank you to Hahn Films for editing and producing this episode. Let's chat soon.